The Voyage Home. This is Modbrix at 18269025. It is also known under its alternative name, Prey Spaceship Diorama, with the shortened number 9025. This set depicts a scene from the movie Star Trek IV. So we got the crew of the Enterprise on board this captured bird of prey, and this scene is shortly before they beam on board these two whales. Yeah, the story of that movie is strange. It's a funny movie. But as you can see, nowhere on the box it does mention that it is a Star Trek set, so I guess Modbrix doesn't have a license. Nevertheless, they named the set The Voyage Home, which actually is the title of Star Trek IV. And also, Bird of Prey is the name of these type of spaceships in the Star Trek universe, so I don't know how they did it. But the set is out for a while now, and it still exists, so legally everything must be okay, I guess. Okay, then let's have a look at the box. It's cool that we get to know who designed the set. It's Florian W. But a thing which is always quite a bit cringy for my taste is that it's written down on the box that prominently where the whole thing was made. So we got this designed in Germany tag over here, and I don't know why you have to do it. I mean, it might be designed in Germany, but nevertheless, I'm quite sure that all the bricks still come from China, so this isn't really necessary. Also, what's a bit strange is that this picture of the completed build is quite heavily edited. So you can see here these transparent bricks on which the bird of prey sits. They are bent, so to give us the illusion of some motion, like that the ship is coming towards us. But I don't like when they do that. Here on those smaller pictures down here, or on the sides of the box and on the back side, we can see how those bricks actually looked like. They are just simple straight bricks, not bent. But yeah, it isn't really important what is shown here. What's important is what's inside the box. Oh, by the way, another thing which is strange about a box is those flaps. The flaps on the sides are longer than the box itself. So that means when we lay down the box like this, it doesn't lie on the surface. It simply sits on those two flaps. There isn't exactly air underneath this surface, but because there's content inside the box, and so the cardboard bends down, but it's still a bit odd to do it like that. Well, but like said, the box doesn't matter. We want to see what's inside now. Inside the box we find building instructions, bags with the bricks. They are all unnumbered and unsorted, so luckily there aren't too many bricks, so there is no need for us to pre-sort them before we start with the build. And yeah, these 4 plates over here, they are 16 by 16 plates. And I think there don't exist transparent dark blue Lego plates in this size. So this is quite cool. The building instructions are a bit strange. This is a very thin manual we got here. Only 10 pages thick. And have a look at how many steps there are on one single page. Wow. That's that's not something you see every day. Well, then let me start the build. Step 1. We have placed those 2 by 4 plates underneath those huge 16 by 16 plates. And now in step 2, we turn the whole build around, and now we can start to build everything on this side of the plates. But I don't get why we only use those 2 by 4 plates in the middle. The corners right here aren't supported by those plates, and I don't think that's a good decision. They just hang free here, and yeah, that makes everything wobbly. That's not a good idea. Step 3. I have placed all the pieces mentioned in this step, but as you can see, our whales don't look the same as shown here. So these 1 by 2 tiles and this tile modified and also this, what is it, a diamond or whatever, I don't know, isn't shown here up in this little box which is like an inventory which shows all bricks we need in this step. So these are all the pieces not mentioned in the box, which we still have to place. Otherwise, it won't look like in the instructions. Step 4. In this step, we are going to need 6 of these brown jumper plates. But there is a mean twist. So let's have a look at sub-step 4. Here you can see that we are going to place 2 of those jumper plates. So we have this little construction over here. And now we are supposed to place place 2 of those jumper plates here and here. The problem is we can't place it on the stat in the middle because there is where did I drop it? Yeah, there is also this kind of stat on the underside of the jumper plate. So we would only be able to place it like this, or like this. But they want us to place it in the middle, and this is not possible because this little stat is in the way. But when we have a look at our parts, we also got 4 of those jumper plates without this little stat in the middle. But there are only 4 of those. So that means that this number 6 is wrong. At least 2 of those 6 are jumper plates without the stats. And with those, everything works like a charm. And yeah, they should have marked this somehow better in the instructions. I am still at step 4, to be precise at the last sub-step 8. And here we merge all the little constructions we have built so far in this single step. So we have these 4 little constructions, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it's time to marry them like this. Oops. And yeah, we will connect them via those 2 plates over here, which we will place on these studs here, down here. But what's a bit strange is that the first little sub-construction that we have built looks like this. So we can see it. We did this in sub-step 2. 1 and 2 to be precise. So you can see we got these brown bricks here, and the upper brown brick is surrounded by white plates, bricks, etc. But now when we have a look at sub-step 8, the colors have changed. So this brown brick turned into white. The white 1x1 plate here is still white, but the next 1x1 plate turned into black. The upper brick, brown brick, turned into gray. The white plates and the tiles at least stayed in white. I have no idea what happened here, and well, I will just ignore it. Step 5. Once again, we have to pay attention which piece we use. So we got this 1x2 tile over here, and we got 2 different of those. So there's this tile with a stud on the underside and this one without. And we are needing the one without stud because we got here our little construction. When there's a stud, it would interfere with the stud of this brick here. Well, as you can see, the brick got this very ugly injection hole here, but it's still too small for the stud of the tile. So we are going to need the tile without stud so that we can place it just like this in the middle. Step 9. We have finished the boat, but what's a bit odd is that the boat looks slightly different than how it is shown on the box. As you can see here, we used another 1x2 brick than shown on the picture of the build on the box. We just used this 1x2 brick instead of this one, which has this kind of special structure on its sides. But other than that, it looks similar. I don't see any other differences. Huh, that's strange. Step 38. I have placed all the bricks we have to place in this step, but I have no idea what these interrupted arrows have to mean. I simply interlocked those 1x2 plate modifieds with this wedge below, and it worked without any problem. Maybe does it mean that I don't have to lock it all the way, or what is it? I have no clue so far. Step 46. I wasn't able to place this 10-colored 1x1 round or quarter tile in the position shown here. I had to mirror the position to fit it. It just wouldn't fit in with this corner being on that side. So I had to place the round side here and the corner here, not the other way around, like shown in the building instructions, like the corner here and the round thing on that side. But I don't think one will notice this in the end. Step 58. In this step, we had to build the other of those wings, and once again, I had a problem with this 1x1 round quarter tile. I had to place it a bit different than shown in the building instructions. So, in the building instructions, the corner is up here, and I had to place it down here, not up here. Well, that's the same problem on both of those wings, but I doubt that anybody will notice this in the completed build. Step 62. The build is complete. And I have to say, I really think we got a cool little scenery here with a wonderful Klingon ship. It looks really cool. The colors are great. And it's just a small set, but there are enough details. We got all these waves here going away from the boat and from the whales. The whale is blowing some water in the air. And the bird of prey really is very detailed. We got its engine here in the back. Its weapons on the side. I think here is the ship's bridge. And yeah, it's really cool. The only thing which slightly annoys me, but that's more a problem of my inner Adrian Monk, is that the whole thing isn't centered. So you see we got these four bigger plates over here. And yeah, as you can see, not even a ship is sitting in the middle between those plates. It's just two stats next to the middle. And even the bird of prey isn't sitting in the middle. Here is the middle, so that means it's one stat beside the middle. I don't know why they did this. And it doesn't matter too much, but you can see it because one of the wings goes more out of the water than the other one. So it isn't symmetrical. That's a bit strange. But I think it absolutely looks nice. I have seen with many people who bought this set in the past that they had problems with the clutch power, or better said, with the friction of the wings. They always fell down. But as you can see, the wings on my bird of prey just stay in place. I have absolutely no problems with the friction. You see, it holds perfectly, so I guess they have used bricks with better quality for this batch. Well, good for me. But what I really don't know is why they didn't place plates under the corners. So the edges or the corners here are levitating. They are just hanging in the air, and only in the middle there is some support from below. I don't know why they did this. And my plan is now to fix this problem, because I was a bit creative and I don't know if you can call it a mock, but I created something here. We got a border, a black one, which we can put around this diorama now. And yeah, it will support those wobbly corners here. And the whole thing will look like one of those Lego Star Wars dioramas in the end. Well, I don't know if I had some feelings with this when I turn a Star Trek set into a Star Wars style diorama, but I'll just do it. My eyes betrayed me. The bird of prey actually sits exactly in the middle between those two plates. Here you can see the line where the big plates touch, and the bird of prey sits exactly in the middle between the plates. That pleases my inner Adrian Monk. Sadly, the boat still doesn't sit in the middle. It's slightly to the right of the middle. But I can live with that. Okay, then now let's have a look at my little modification for this build. As you can see, I created this black border, and I think it really emphasizes the color of the set. The colors are more shiny now. It helps the contrast. It's always good to have a black border on these kind of dioramas. And of course, this whole construction helps the stability of the whole build a lot. Nothing is wobbly now. Yeah, I think that was quite a good idea to do that. And I placed everywhere those grills, so it's just like in style how Lego does its Star Wars diorama sets. I even have placed 2 tiles with prints on the whole thing. As you can see here, we got the logo of Star Trek 4, and next to it we got a quote by Scotty. He says, "Admiral, there be whales here." Just in the moment when they have beamed those 2 whales up on the bird of prey. Well, I think I will link you my building instructions for this modification down in the video description. I will give you not exactly the instructions for what I did here, because as you can see, I used a lot of small tiles and also smaller bricks. Those things were just available in the brick wall at my local brick store, so I grabbed them. But I think when you order them, it's better to use bigger tiles and bricks, so that helps the stability of the build more. It is more fun to build with bigger bricks, and yeah, it's just more practical. But in the end, it will look more or less the same, so I think that will be fine. I will also see if I can. Yeah, I think I will upload this a picture for this print too, and I will see what I can do with the logo. Just have a look at the description. Assembling this Modbrix set wasn't that difficult. In the beginning, you had to concentrate a bit, but later on, the build got quite straightforward. So I think maybe it's not a set for absolute beginners, but if you have built a few sets before, you should absolutely be able to assemble everything without too much of a problem. The quality of the bricks is absolutely sufficient for this set. The bricks aren't the nicest to look at. They got some quite ugly injection points, like you can see here. But for example, at the Bird of Prey, most of the studs are covered by tiles, so there aren't that many injection holes visible. The clutch power is quite okay. I didn't have problems with it, and as you can see, also the wings stay in position, at least at my set I got here, so I don't see a problem with the bricks. For about 26 euros, you can't do much wrong. It's a nice little diorama, and if you want to add a base like I did, you have to pay about 10 euros to get all the bricks. And okay, even if you want to also add prints, add 5 euros more, and then you should be fine. I like the set and it looks neat. It's okay. If you're not such a big fan of dioramas and are only interested in the Bird of Prey, you might also have a look at Bluebrick sets. They sell Bird of Preys in different sizes, even as a big display model. And that's a thing that I'm absolutely going to build one day because I love their display models. But in the meantime, I think this should do it.